Alright, so we teched in for nationals today and we got to make a few changes. The first interesting thing was, as you can see, we ran it without a hood, but when we got there they told us that we had to have a hood, and we didn't have enough time to cut it down, so we had to run with this air cleaner. And I'm just telling you from experience that running this little, it's 9.5 inch, maybe 1 inch or 2 inch tall versus this, 14 inch wide 4 inch unit here. It definitely suffers power losses at the top end. It's just choking it out. So we can't run any bigger of an air cleaner, but after talking to tech, apparently we need a hood, but we can cut a hole in the hood. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but anyway, we're just gonna go ahead and do it. So we transferred our little air cleaner spot here. So we're gonna have our nice 14 inch air cleaner coming out our hood when we're all done. So we're gonna get to cutting this up, so you can cry about that if you want to. So another thing I was informed of here, and if you all know and watch my videos, I'm pretty much an engine guy primarily, but with RallyCross you don't really want to have this torsion bar here because it kind of connects both wheels. So the problem is when you're going over bumps, the wheels have a hard time working independently of each other and they actually cause you to lose traction. And on account of this thing being rusted up and broken up and barely on there anyway, I can just kind of see it falling off and getting caught under the vehicle. So we're going to go ahead and get it unbolted, dropped out, and we'll just run without a torsion bar. I don't see any problems there with running on dirt, and like I said, comes pretty highly recommended, I guess. So some backyard suspension mods for sure. Look at all that body flex from that rust. That whole panel that this torsion bar is mounted to is half rotted out, and it moves around with the torsion bar. That is incredible. All broken apart up here. That's from sitting under the battery tray, and the battery acid just eroded the metal away. So like we said, wasn't doing much for us anyway. We're gonna get it out of here. All right, and just like that, she's down and away. Some of the bolts there holding it in were a little bent up, so we had to get the old Sawzall out and just hack them off. So hopefully that gives us a little bit more traction. As you can see, it wasn't doing much anyway anyhow, and just made a bunch of noise when I went over bumps and was going down the road. So I guess good riddance. Alright, so right now we're draining the coolant. When I was running today, the thermostat decided that it was going to stick, and when they stick, thankfully they're designed to stick open. A good way to check and see if they're stuck is when the engine's totally cool. If you squeeze it, you should hear it click back and forth. From the pressure, you can hear a clicking noise, and anyway, this one doesn't, and we can verify with watching our temp gauge, it was pretty poor. So another thing to look at with this car is, I'm not sure what's going on inside the cooling system, but just like the differential, we got a ton of metal on our little magnetic end of our drain plug. So I could do something about it, look through things, but I'm just going to go ahead and ignore it. We're going to replace our thermostat with a 160-degree unit to keep her cool, and keep right on moving and not worry about it. Alright, so here we are, Saturday morning race day, getting a few things tidied up. The car's running pretty good. I don't have any complaints there. You can appreciate our nice hole in the hood for our air cleaner. It just didn't seem right to me not being able to see that air cleaner, even if I had to have a hood. And it just really helps tremendously with underhood heat. The car just runs a lot harder and better with the larger air cleaner, and then it can evacuate all that heat and get cool air to the engine. I was kind of hoping that the rain would hold off, but unfortunately it's rained here today, so everything's going to be pretty slick. That's pretty bad news for the old Mustang, I think. We'll see what she does. Luckily we're running in heat 3, so this should be good and ripped up, and we should be down to dry dirt, but we'll see. Alright, so here we are again today, adjusting some things on the carburetor here before day 2 of running. Car run pretty good, but seems like it could open up with more power on the straightaways. So, and we could use a little more wheel spin. Those mud tires are just biting in really hard in the back, and these tires in the front here are just less than satisfactory tread. So it's pushing the front end around pretty bad. So we're going to go ahead and add our yellow secondary spring here so that it, you know, my secondaries open at a much more rapid speed, and hopefully we can again get more wheel spin. All right, that's that. All done, and she somehow managed to survive. You can see I was just relentless, so we lost a few of the struts up front. They're pretty spongy. And something I didn't account for, if you can see it in there, coming down pretty good on the body onto the tire. And we must have come down so hard that we puckered the roof up here, and just normal unibody stuff. Trunk doesn't really fit, so I tell you what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna grab on here, try and put a little flex in it. Surprisingly enough, that did move it. That roof must be pretty weak. Perfect. Just like that, it's basically new again. Oh, do a little body work here. Perfect. Well, I say it's sustained no damages now. You got it. It's good. It's good. It's mint. Just like new. Perfect. You know, I really need to think about either getting a truck or just probably welding a hitch on this thing and pulling the old truck bed trailer. But I guess for now this works. Sure is a lot of truck staying action lately. The old Rotstang's doing pretty good, given the weather today. Seemed like a good day, as not many people are out on the road, so I went ahead and picked myself up a new rear end, 8.8 unit, a little bit bigger than the 7.5 in this car. It's a posi traction unit with 456 gears, so I think it'll do the car some justice. Coming home from picking up some drag radials here. I didn't even realize when I went to buy them that they were streetable, so that's pretty nice. Seems like I can't ever buy any parts when I have some good weather. That would be too easy, so of course we got a torrential downpour, which is weird for December, but just pretty much on par for Iowa. Never know what type of weather you're going to get. One day you're in shorts, the next day it's 0 degrees. Alright, got everything in the garage so you can get a good look at it now. So those are the drag wheels and tires I just went and picked up. They're Weld brand. And I haven't done a lot of drag racing with actual bona fide drag stuff, so I'm sure there's going to be a learning curve here. I'll have to look at those more later, but we got our 8.8 rear end with our 456 gears. And I bought that mainly for I want to autocross the car. After we've done rallycross, the car seems to hold up pretty good, and after welding in some homemade subframe connectors, it should do pretty well in the autocross. I got some lowering springs and whatnot for it, so it should be pretty interesting. But anyway, it's kind of funny. The car, I originally bought it to just rallycross it a few times. I was going to pull all the parts off. You know, I run T5 stuff, and you can kind of see my F100 there, my F100 and my Galaxy, and it's just got a lot of good parts I use, but the car seems to hold together real well. So the engine's pretty tired on it, but if it makes it through the winter season here, I'm just going to pull it out, kind of do a super budget overhaul on it, and keep right on going. We'll make up for the horsepower loss, or lack thereof of horsepower on the engine build with our rear end, hopefully. But if we do destroy the rear end, we might end up putting the little Mabco short block in there. I haven't had a chance to use it on anything, and I'm going to hurry up and get it built and stuff it in my F100, I guess, before I'm tempted to put it in the old Rotstang, but we'll see. Originally, I had that 351 out of that old 79 Ford van that I was going to put in the F100, but I just, you know, graduating from college, and I'm kind of a traveling engineer now and whatnot. I just haven't had enough time. So we're probably going to go with whatever's fastest. But anyway, a lot of options for the old Rotstang. What I'm going to try and do with it, you know, just a catch-all vehicle. Rallycross, autocross, and then drag racing if it can hold up to it. So I only got 400 in these wheels and tires, and they're all in good shape. I bought the rear end, which is a posi traction unit with the gears and all that, and it has slapper drag bars that I don't have shown here, but I got all that for under $300. So if I can find parts cheap, I go ahead and pull the trigger, and we'll just see what this car can do in the spring. So I guess stay tuned, and we'll see what comes of this car. And if we put it in the wall, oh well, you know, I hope someone gets a few good pictures and a good video of it, and we'll post it up here. But anyway, that's it for this evening, I guess. We're going to get to working on things now.